Hello, Facebookers. It's a long time since I've done a Facebook Live, probably 3 weeks ago when I was down in Melbourne and I was facilitating a heart meditation and book launch in Melbourne for my 2 Amazon bestsellers. Tonight is a special thing. I know some of you are going to join very soon. I've just got to see how I can get... There's a special person that I want you to see, but I'm just trying to see how we can do it. Hey Sandra, lovely seeing you. Now I'm just wondering, because I've got someone that's going to join us, hopefully, if I can see properly. I love technology, that's my affirmation. I even bought a Fitbit to learn technology. Hey Sandra, that's lovely. Let's just see if I'm scooting up the thing. I'm so learning technology and I'm hoping this person can join me. No, I'm not there. Anyway, we'll start. I'll see if they can start, and I'm going to message the person. I really wanted to talk to something for you guys, and about my heart's desires and how you can create your heart's desires, especially in regards to books. Just to think, these 3 books went Amazon bestseller in 45 minutes, and I've just been inundated with emails, Facebook messages, texts, calls. Jean, how'd you do it? Hey Claire, lovely to see you. So I'm just going to see if I can get this person on, and I'll just, because he's a really special soul, and he's just seen my big vision and knows what I want, and so I'm just going to see if I can do it. I don't know. I'll just see, because otherwise, guys, I'm going to have to start again. But that's all good. We'll just see how it goes. And I'm going to see if I can get them on. If anyone knows how to add people, let's see, add. What does it say? No, cancel. So I'll just say, go on now. All right, let's see. Let's try. All right, so how did I do Amazon bestseller? How did I get my dream happening, my heart's desire? Or just in case I haven't got enough heart glasses, there's another set of heart glasses. Okay, and we're going to add this person on. We'll just see if we can do it. Oh my God, I'm doing technology. Watching, bring him on camera. And we do that. And that was good. And we're adding. Okay, I've got you, Dave. It's saying that it's adding you. It's just trying to pick you up. I hope you guys can see this, because this is a really special soul. I call him Young One. Oh my God, there he is. There's Young
Jen,
One.
You did it. You did it.
I'm an
you made it work.
I did. Hey guys, I want to introduce you to this really special soul. I call him Young One, or Outrageous Dave. For me, he's got the biggest heart. But he's going to explain something that is really important. As I said, these 3 books went Amazon bestseller, but it was Dave that also assisted me with his gift and offer. And so I'm going to throw it over to you, Dave, and then we can have a bit of a chitty chat. And guys, you asked me, so here it is. Miss Samantha Riley, look at you. Mwah.
Oh, I love Samantha Riley. It was her birthday yesterday.
And
Happy
it's her
birthday,
fault.
Miss Sam.
Well, it's her fault I met you. There you go.
Oh,
There's
yes,
the connection.
It was indeed, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's all Samantha's delicious fault. So, Dave, explain about you and what you had to offer that I went, boom, let's do it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jean. Awesome to be here, guys. So my name's Dave Thompson, and the program that we run is called the Inspirational Book Writers Retreat. And Jean's been on 2 of them now, about to go on a 3rd. And that's essentially, it's been the program that she's used to write her books in a week. And when she wrote 2 books in a week, she set a record-breaking history for our business to be able to do that. So we were super stoked about that. And I guess today, the purpose of today really is to, I know a lot of people have been asking Jean, how did you do it? How did you do 2 in a week? How did you write a book in the first place? How did you do 2 in a week? How did you get it to Amazon bestseller? Like, just how? And that's what the purpose of, that's what the purpose of, Jean is a legend indeed. Thank you to everyone jumping on. And that's the purpose. Hey, Natalie. that is the purpose for today, is really to get inside and understand, because it's one thing for us to have a program that works, that gets people a result, but it's kind of like the personal trainer. You know, the personal trainer can't do the push-ups for you. So Jean's brought, well, we've brought stuff to the table. She's also brought all of herself to the table, and that's what we're going to have a bit of a chat about today. How does that sound, Jean?
Does that mean raw and real? Ooh, ooh.
From behind the heart glasses, it's fine.
We've got those ones, but we've got those ones in case, just in case. So I'm wearing these ones for you, Dave. There you go.
If the tears come, awesome, awesome. Well, I know your audience will be very kind. So let's jump in. We'll just have a bit of a chat, and I'll ask you some questions, and we'll just see what comes out. Hey.
Yep. Because the main thing is that people keep saying, "How did you do it?" And it's like I wrote in the Facebook post. It's a team. I love what Disney says. You've got to have a team to make the dream, or something like that. And just these two. I'll just give an example. That book, which is that book as well, I had beautifully sabotaged, procrastinated, dawdled, whatever the words were, for at least 20 years. And when I went to the first book retreat, that's what I was going to write. But that didn't happen either. I wrote that book. So maybe if we start with that one, especially just that heart, personal story, you've got to get it out.
I think so, yeah. And what you're saying there is super common, Jean. Like, I meet so many people that do have a story in them. And when I first spoke to you, you said to me, I think it was quite a number of years you'd been wanting to write it. And maybe you could just talk about, like, I remember our first conversation. I was actually in a hotel in Sydney about to go to a Tony Robbins event, and I was chatting away with Jean, and I think I said, look, this is what it's about. This is how we roll. We go to the island. We help you write the book. Jean, I'm just curious, maybe you can share, because there's probably a lot of people that are like, oh, I want to share my personal story, but there's all the stuff coming up. What were the beliefs or the shifts that you made to be able to finally go, after all those years, this is my time, I'm doing it? How did you cross that bridge?
So when I met Samantha Riley, that was on before, I was in Sydney. I'd been asked to speak at a really beautiful event. Samantha was speaking before me, and I don't get colds or flus, but I had developed a flu, and I had to speak for an hour and then jump on a plane. I didn't hear a word of what she said until she said, I heard her say, I wrote a book in a weekend. And I went, what? And I contacted her when I came back. And I think it was 2 weeks later, I was on your retreat. All the stories were, I'm dumb, I'm stupid. English is my second language or third language. I grew up speaking Greek and Arabic, so there was all the English stuff. There was the comprehension. Everyone knows I've got esoterical spelling. Just look at Facebook posts, look at my newsletters. I think I had Mary Poppins' basket of excuses of why not to write the book. When we connected, I did think it was going to be the Millennium Children book, because that's what people actually asked. I'll take all these glasses off. Had asked for, but when we did the pre-book coaching thing, I just went, oh my gosh, I have to talk about my story. And I did think, who the hell is going to read it? And I just went, you know what, I'm going to come to the island and I'm just going to spew it out, and it's going to be a cathartic process. And it was, from as soon as I spoke to you, the process was, and chunking it down, and the way you were able to chunk it with me, it just went, blah, and that one was written in 2.5 days. But the stories, you name it, I had it. I wore all the stories in the world. It could have been finances. It could have been my husband doesn't want me to. My kids will miss me. We've just got a dog. You name it, I had it. Yeah. But it was the package of running away. I loved that I could run away. And as you know, Dave, I kept that book, Secret Squirrel, and I kept posting, you know, Secret Squirrel on Facebook. I had to get that out was closing a door, and so I had to keep it very quiet. But then once I'd finished the story, I'd finished the story. There was no more excuses. So does that answer your question?
I love that. Yeah, and I really want to honour the courage that you showed to say that, and to take the steps in the first place, because it's a big deal, you know, to stand up and go, my story is worth telling, and it's worth closing out that chapter. That I really respect that. And I think for those people that ask themselves the question, you know, who would want to hear my story? Well, what I tell people who are thinking that is, look, there's a lot of, you know, big name leaders in spirituality or personal development or growth, you know, Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, like all these guys, they've been around forever, but they're not really that accessible to the modern person. They're almost like they're too high up. And I believe that what the world needs right now is stories of people that you can relate to, that people can go, oh, I can relate to Jean. English was my third language too. I got told that I couldn't do this in school.
Yeah.
And it's those local, it's those being an example to the people that you lead. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I think that was awesome that you told your story. And how long's that been out now? Like over a year? The Jean Sheehan story's been out. Yeah. I know multiple people that have read that book and have gone, I'm so glad Jean read it. So I'm so glad Jean wrote that book, because I've been going through the same thing, and now I know that I'm not the only person that went through the things like what Jean went through.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting you say that, because it has been the comments that came in, and they were secretive, like, I don't want to put it live on Facebook, I don't want to write a testimonial. And my marketing mind went, oh, write a testimonial. But because it's such a private journey, and for me to share it, because I went na nunu, and for them going through it, they've gone, I am normal. So then it's been the basis of my work as well, that you want to get to know me and why I created the courses, read this, or read just the healing properties that a book can do. And I just wrote this. I always wanted this title. I don't know whether you can read it, probably back to front, but it says, I am, look, I can't even spell there. I'm an author, but it's back to front on Facebook.
It is. We can see it.
Just to be able to go, I've always wanted to be an author. And back to excuses, I remember as a little girl, you know, folding pieces of paper and stapling them and making, I loved doing that as a little girl. And I wanted to be an author. I wanted to be able to hold a book and say, this is mine, I did it. And I did. And as Dave knows, that's half of the book. The other half got deleted. But maybe it'll come back one day. Maybe.
And that's an interesting point that you just raised there too, Jean, because when it comes to personal stories, I'll often speak to people and they'll be like, oh, how much should I share? Yeah. You know, am I ready to share all of it or bits of it or whatever? And what I say to them is share what you're ready to share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you don't need to bring up everything and, you know, open completely wide to the world. But if there's elements of your story that would provide value to someone else, and I think that's what you've done with the Jean Sheehan stories, you took the elements of your story that you were ready to share that would help someone else, and you packaged them in the book. And I just think, like, maybe you can speak to this a bit. Once people read that book, like, what happens to their trust and connection in you?
The old marketing saying of get to know me, trust me, and then work with me. Yeah. That was it. And I didn't have to reveal everything. It was just, look, here's a little bit. Have a little bit. And then the next book was have a little bit more of me, have a little bit more. But it was just, for me, the heart connection of, thank you for writing your story. You wrote my story. I just got that, and I still do. The books are still selling. And by the way, this book was not about selling. This book this book is selling well, but it was a cathartic close the chapter. And so it was very much about close the door and let's have a healing and let's move on. I need to close that chapter. But in the meantime, other people have just started that chapter in their life. I just felt that not everyone needed to know the other crazy things that happened to me. Maybe I'll release them in a book or so down the track, but it doesn't have to be everything. But it's I find that it makes you that expert in that field of whether it's chocolate cake or whether it be heart glasses or whatever you've got, because people are ferociously hungry for more. There's just not enough out there. And when I heard, I had all sorts, don't think I've told you, Dave, I've had all sorts of people say to me, Jean, your book will never be written, will never be read. There's too many books out there. And then people quoted how many books are out there. Whereas since writing the 3 of them, people have said, when's the next one? When's the next one? So they are hungry for the fresh and the new. And also back to you. When you reveal you make that heart connection. Say like your book, Dave, of The Outrageous You. Have you got a copy next to you? I forgot to bring my copy.
I don't. I did find the Inspirational book writing book.
Well, even that one, just being able to explain, like, you had this idea of writing a book and publishing it in 6 weeks, and then boom, out comes a book, out comes a course, etc. And please, when I got in touch with Dave, I quickly went on his website, check him out. Who is this Dave person? Bought the book. Devoured it in 24 hours. I'm quite a slow reader, but I just went, nom, 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 gobble it up. And then I just went, book me, Dano. 2 weeks later, I'm writing the Jean Sheehan book. So great, but I got to know you, what you're going to offer, and yes, it suited me. I liked it with my heart glasses.
And I think that's awesome that you say that, because that's what we're aiming for when we work with people. Is we want people that we have a heart connection with, that we have a soul connection with, that it's not, we're not into the, we're looking for the people that want to write authentic, original books, their own nitty gritty from their heart. Because that's how the world will change. Like, there's way too, like, the number of books that get censored. Like, if one of the big reasons I built this program is because other publishing options would censor what gets said. Oh no, you can't say that. That's not proper English, or you're going too far. Don't do that. Don't do that. Red pen, red pen. I'm like, that is not us. That is not us. We want.
They wouldn't have happened.
We want that. We want the truth that's coming through from your heart and soul, and we want that, because that inspirational. Go in to find what inspires you in order to bring it out and put it in the book, and that's what you've done, Jean, and I'm so stoked for you.
Thank you, darling. And the best thing, I loved running away with Dave. I like saying that. I ran away with Dave, young one, that I was fed. I didn't have to do washing, dishes, nothing. All I needed to do was go from the computer, overlook and look at the whales and the dolphins, which is my favouriteest thing. Go for walks along the beach, my favouriteest thing. Tap into the energies I like, so on the spooky level, Atlantis and all that sort of thing, and just pop out a book. And that's literally what it's like, is pop out a book. Just pop it out, and the support. There was encouragement and support, rather than people meaning well and going, do you know how many books are not read and blah, blah, blah. That's not support. So I loved and I am very goal orientated. Say to me, Jean, do that to that. Yes, I'll push the limits and go, I'll do a bit more. But yeah, just and you said about what was your words about publishing the book?
The authentic original?
I can't remember. For me, they rape it. Like, I did look at a couple of publishing companies, and I just went, they're going to change my flavour My poor English and whatever is who I am. That if they change it, they won't get to know who I am. So there was no raping or pillaging in that. And I think gone are the days of the proper English. If you, I work with the new generation of children, they're all LOLs and whatever ONGs and whatever else. That's all in books now as well. People want fast connection, not the structured proper English, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. That's what you just shared is exactly what we consider to be the idea of writing an authentic original.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a carbon copy of something else. It's almost like only you could write that book because no one else is Jean Sheehan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's how you stand out from the crowd.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not ghostwriting either, because I even looked into ghostwriting because, as I said, I had every excuse and trick in the world of not to write a book. That I looked at ghostwriting. Could I dictaphone it? Could I whatever? And that's the other thing. Some people thought I dictaphoned the books. Not at all. As Dave knows, 2 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night.
Not even one word.
Yeah. I think on the last retreat, I was awake for 23 hours. I got to sleep for an hour and went, oh, let's do it some more. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like for people going, oh my gosh, can I write for 23 hours straight? It's like that was Jean's process. And I just want to name that on the book retreat week, everyone's process is different. You know, we have Jean's rocking out in the early hours of the morning. That's her time. You know, we have other people that just rock out at night time. You know, and by being in that space where it's just open and it's supported for the single task of bringing down and doing the thing, you can play with your natural cycle. And
that cycle is be you, but everything about it is authentic. So as you know, I had earphones on, I had the music screaming in my ear while I'm just bashing at the, I was going to call it typewriter, laptop. But other people, you know, chatted it out and whatever. There's that flexibility of be you. And again, that was one of my excuses of, because I've done other book writing courses. And one said, you have to write creatively like this. And I had to write about a potato. I don't want to write about a potato. I don't like that writing about the... So I could write my way, have the ambience my way. It was just where I could be me, escape, and just be absolutely TLC looked after to get my vision. And the key thing for me was you could see my vision. As I said what my vision was, especially for the 2 Millennium Children books, you went, yep, let's do it. And that's really important for me of I need people to see my vision, what I want. And as you know, Dave, I like it fast. Let's go fast and furious with heart glasses. But yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Totally. And I think that's another thing that's interesting is like with the speed of execution is like a lot of book writing processes can, you know, I've heard of many people that have been writing their book for years and then it takes years to get it published, you know, months and years to get it published.
Yes.
And the whole ordeal, and I think ordeal is probably an appropriate word because if you're extending it over 5 to 7 to 8 years, it probably is an ordeal.
Excuse me?
I don't think it's necessary. When you've got the support and the focus space to focus on the single thing that you're there to do, execution and actually doing it flows so easily when you're in that space. If you're not in that space, I get it. It's hard. Like imagine if you lived in a city in a 1-bedroom apartment and you were trying to write it at 11 p.m. with the trams and the Wi-Fi signals, and if you're a sensitive being, it's like it's hard.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think part of the excitement is you do it in a week, you don't want to wait years till it gets published.
Mm-mm.
So that's why we do it quickly and we get it out in 6 weeks. Like Jean was, you know, Jean really planned her launch, and it was only a couple of months after you'd written it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think for people that want the speed as well, that's a big thing that we can offer while maintaining the authenticity.
Yeah. It's not just the speed, it's the sexy, simple ways.
Yeah.
We humans tend to complicate things and make it hard. There's all those excuses and stuff. And both sets of books, the Jean Sheehan book and then the Millennium Children book, I edited those whilst working on a cruise. So I was still in contact, you were still in contact, and the editing process is easy. Chunk it through, deliver it to you, back to me. It's all easy. I don't have to think, I had to think to write the book, but it's all, Jean, do that. And again, everything is done where I don't have to think. I just can chunk it out. So it's not that you, once you go to the island, if you're flying in from England to the island, or Sydney to the island, or wherever to the island, it doesn't matter, because when you do, everything is just one world with the internet. It just flows easily. And yes, you said with the book launch, like with this one, again, Fast and Furious, it was my 50th birthday. And by the way, I was meant to, when I wrote the book, I was meant to be in Egypt, taking a group of people away, but ISIS had hit an area I was taking them to. Sam said, I wrote a book in a weekend, or that's what I heard. And I went, I'll write a book. I'm so sick. Bang, did it. But the launch, and this is where I like to push boundaries, the launch was without the book. But I had 100... and that was nothing to do with publishing. I just went, let's have a book launch without a book. And let's have a 50th birthday. And
I think it was like 5 weeks after book retreat. We published in 6 weeks, and Jean put the launch at 5 weeks after the retreat. And I'm like, Jean, do you realise, do you want, is this okay?
Have you got a book?
Like, yeah, like, sure.
Yeah. Oh, we had 100 people at the book launch. It was fine. It was easy.
Totally.
So anything is possible with the system that you offer. And that's the other thing. The reason I bring it up is Dave doesn't go, you must do this. It's, here's what I've got to offer. What way do you want to do it? And Dave, as you know, I tend to do everything out of the box and crazy.
Yes.
And so then everybody got my book after the book launch, and I put a photo on Facebook. I'm in a yellow tutu heart glasses with all the books and postage in trolleys going into the post office.
That was so
good.
The book. That was so good, Jean.
Yeah.
And I love that you picked that up, because that's something we really honour in the program is the creative process of every person. Creativity is the pathway to creating the authentic original.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Jean,
I was going to share something just about timing with Sacred Geometry.
Grid. Yes.
So this is a calendar grid. I'm just going to move it back a bit because it's falling on me. I chose to write the book at a particular time that suited me. But if you're, I'll just get back in the camera, especially if something's really heart's desire with the book, I know Dave's got a book retreat coming up in June.
Yes.
And June is a fantastic time according to Sacred Geometry and Law of Attraction. And by the way, this is the system I use to plan all my courses, events, books, book launches, everything, because it just flows with grace and ease and will work. That in June, this is winter time here, June is the beginning of winter. And winter time is a time to finish, complete. So, for example, this one could have been written in June of heal the hurt, close the door, move on. And the move on in this case has increased my clientele, people to courses, events and things like that. But that winter time is like, it's not really cold here in Queens, or it is for me, but other people it's not. But it's that nurturing time in June to go, wow, I need to get this done. And then I need to go into retreat winter time, and then I can start to launch it in spring. And especially spring is when people are going, what else is out there? Oh, what's this book? I might read this and I might read that. And so delicious, delicious time according to sacred geometry, and with Dave's help with all his tools, techniques and systems to get that book out. Smash it out. You don't have to be crazy like me of 23 hours, but you've got that whole week to just gently, gently move, and you'll be blown away how quickly you can do it. It is unbelievable. And by the way, that time of year, whales, what can I say? Lots of whales, lots and lots and lots. Would that be right, Dave?
It's the start of the whales, June. It's a beautiful time on the island. You're looking at like 22 degrees, bright sunshine, very nice, very comfortable overnight. You know, some of Farmer John's best produce is around at that time. Farmer John is the farmer on the Tweed River that we get all our organic produce from. Yeah. It's a beautiful time, and I think for those people that, if they look, you know, this month is really about, as you said, looking into your heart's desire. If when you look into your heart's saying, I really need to tell my story.
Yep.
I need to get this out. I need to get this out of me. I need to close that chapter of my life, and I need to open the door for a new chapter. Yep. The timing is perfect. You write it in June. Proof copies will be published mid-July. You'll be ready to launch for the start of spring into a brand new version of yourself, a brand new version of your business. That's how we work out the timing. So,
and also, it's not just brand new version of yourself. When you close that door, and it's cathartic, but all those other people are coming out and needing you, and your book falls into their lap, and they go, it's exactly what I need. And that's part of the sacred geometry of doing it, say June, everyone be ready, and just go snuffle up your book straight off. It's just so easy. It can't fail. It can only flow.
Well said, Jean. Very well said. I was wondering, Jean, if you could just speak a little bit about, you know, the Jean Sheehan story has been out for over 12 months now, and the Millennium Children books launched earlier this year. Just wondering if you could speak a little bit about how, like, what awesome stuff has come your way as a result of bringing these books to the world, like in terms of opportunities and things like that.
So I was already public speaking, and it has just poofed that incredibly. There's a Jean Sheehan word, poofed. I don't know how you spell it. But it has just opened the door on public speaking. It's opened the door for, again, I already wrote for magazines, blogs, other people's work, but again, it's just expanded who I write for. It's given me that authority status, because I teach such a woo-woo subject, but I deliver it in a grander way. It's like people that are just starting out, I want it. So courses, sessions, speaking, of course, income comes with that, travel, connecting with people. I recently came back from Melbourne. I drove to and from Melbourne, which is not something I normally fly. While I was driving to Melbourne, I had a principal here on the Sunshine Coast ring me urgently. Their last week of school, so I pulled over and she said, I have just read this one. A parent gave it to me. We are desperate for your help. And that was my mission. I wanted this in school. So even in the law of attraction, it's like once you do this, the universe hears those beautiful whispers that you want, and doors just open. Because if you share the universe helps along the way. So it's definitely opened things up in areas that I had not planned at all. And next year there's a tour with the books and a few other products. I've got medical intuitive cards and whatever to all of the spiritual shops because they're asking, can we stock it? So it's opened up something I never thought to do. So I'll have somebody actually do the tours. I don't have the time anymore to do that. They will go in and deliver books and things for me as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that opportunity,
No,
Jean.
that's just arised.
Jean, guys, to everyone watching this live stream, Jean emails me every couple of days. Is like, Dave, this just happened, and Dave, this person wants me to speak, and Dave, I'm on this radio, and I'm just like, oh, this is so good, but I hadn't heard of that one. So that's wonderful news, Jean.
And it does. It just opens up. And for those that think that I'm natural at public speaking, if someone had said you're going to public speak for a career, I would have shot myself. But again, when you've got something that you really love and you're passionate about, that it's not public speaking. It's like, this is the start of your voice, and people can go, oh, yum, 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 read it. And I had one beautiful lady in Melbourne say, I've read your book front to back. I've written all over it and made notes. Can I have another copy? Because she'd written all over it. Be ready for, as an author, be ready for people to contact you, to connect with you, to ask of you for more books and all the rest. And as you know, Dave, I've got a mission, 13 books really quickly. Really quickly.
We can make that happen, Jean. And I love that. And just imagine where you're going to be when 13 are out in the world.
I will have my cult. I will. And they'll all be wearing these. They'll all be doing this.
That's wonderful. Well, Jean, that's awesome. Is there anything else?
Well, I was just going to say, how can they contact you? As I said, guys, if those that are not watching now and going to watch this afterwards, which I know a lot of my clientele do, and then they message me, please, afterwards I'm going to put Dave's details there so that you can message him directly, or PM underneath, or like message under this. He's the best one to ask, not me. I'm just good at getting things fast and furious and crazy, but he can tell you, can contact him. But I truly, just according to sacred geometry, and when I teach this, and this is taught to corporate world, of June is the time of let's heal that process, and then you're ready to launch that book in September when everyone else is ready, because they need it. If you really want to get yourself out there, that's a fantastic way. Look, Amazon bestseller. Look at that.
Amazon bestseller. That's awesome.
And Dave can help you with all of that as well.
Absolutely. That's what we teach, just very briefly, is how to write it, how to publish it, and how to launch the book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And speaking easy, no complications.
No, just one thing at a time. You know, that's how I did it. Everything that I teach is what I did when I wrote my first book. You know, I needed to keep it simple, reduce the overwhelm, and just do one thing at a time. So it's like, here, do this. Okay, you've done it. Great. Okay, and here's the next thing. Okay, you've done it. Great. And here's the next thing.
And it's also the after support, the before support, the after support. I see it a bit like a pregnancy or a trimester, you know, one bit, the next bit, and then birthing the baby. That it's all the support all the way through. Yeah, and Facebook, there's a Facebook of authors, Spiritcast Facebook, and other. There's all these different things that are provided as well, so that you're not alone. I've got people commenting of, I want the glasses too. Oh my God, the cult's starting.
You can start a Facebook group, Jean's Cult.
Yes. Or the Dave Cult. We could have the Dave Cult.
Don't speak too soon, Jean. That's coming. That's wonderful, Jean. Is there anything else you wanna share about your experience, or maybe just some final words to people who do have the story in them, who are contemplating doing it? What would you say to them?
So on Facebook and media and things like that, I look like I'm an extrovert. I'm actually an introvert. And so to even go to the island, and it's going to be strangers and I don't know and all that sort of thing, I encourage you to jump before you're ready. Don't think about it. Don't even have a plan to some degree. Just, I want to write about Millennium children. That's all I know. Because Dave will be able to assist you just to go, that I call it chunking, you know, have that bit, that bit. the key for me is why you're doing it. Is it a cathartic process, which I think every book is on some level? Is it that you really want to support people, help them? Just go. That one sentence that you write, which might be in the foreword or acknowledgements, touches people's hearts. Just jump. Don't think. Please don't think about it. Follow that heart of yours. That's the key. You will be blown away at coming back on the ferry, and you say to yourself, I am an author and I did it. It is just the most awesome experience ever. Awesome. So,
Wow.
yeah, please don't think that, me or the others have had something special. Not at all. As I mentioned before, my English was second language, told I was dumb and stupid all my life as a kid. My English teacher, year 11, said that you can't write. I've had people tell me that your books will never work. So, bingo.
Proof is in the pudding.
Jump.
Thank you so
Just
much,
jump.
Jean. Yeah,
Thank you, Dave.
That's wonderful words. Yeah, thank you so much. And guys, if you do want to find Jean's books, you can jump on Amazon and search Jean Sheehan, and they'll all be there. Or Jean, they're on your website as well.
Yeah, just Millennium Education. Search it, and all the books are there. And who knows, we might throw in some heart glasses. You never know what you'll get with me when you make the orders and things.
It's very true.
Yeah. Thank you. And Dave, thank you to you for sharing, as I call you, young one, outrageous young one.
Yes.
It just makes it easier with the heart space and authenticity that you give.
Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate all your words, and hearing you say what you've experienced is really touching for me, because that's what I always intended it to be. So for you to say that is just we're doing something good here.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
If people do want to connect with me, I'll just lay out the 2 best ways to get in touch. If you're watching this live stream, you can add me as a friend directly on Facebook and shoot me a private message. That's a great way to get in contact. Or secondly, the book writers website. So www.inspirationalbookwritersretreat.com.au. We've got all our info there. There's a heap of resources. You can hear about other people's experiences. And there's also a link there to book in a time to have a chat with me about your book, if you do, if you're thinking, yes, this is my time.
Please make the time, because Dave will make the time with you, and it's very heart. It's not about production, and it's very heart.
Awesome, Jean. Well, I'm looking forward to... Time is ended.
Yes.
Time is ended.
And it's rudely ended because I'm watching the time. I've got a client in about 20 minutes and I need to get ready.
Great. Wonderful.
Because Dave's very much jumped online with me to do this, because I wanted to share it takes a team to make a dream, and I have big dreams. And when you have beautiful young ones like this that help make the dream, why not have him on your dream team too?
Oh, thank you, Jean. Awesome.
Excellent.
Great.
So, from me, it's heart glasses. Bye, guys.
Well.
See you later. Contact Dave. Have lots and lots of fun. Get your heart's desires. Remember, June, time to close, heal, and share you. People want to hear you and connect with you. Dave, bye, darling. I'll catch up with you soon.
Take care. Bye.